searching.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're doing well and had a great week. I have resolved my microphone issues. I realized last week the sound was not that great, so I have resolved that, thankfully. Let's get into the intuitive messages for the week. Here's what you can expect from today, December 7th, through to December 13th as an overall theme, and then areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. So, this week is another mixed bag of energies thanks to the upcoming solar eclipse on December 14th, plus many other astrological alignments that's prepping us for the upcoming energy shifts for 2021. We are truly moving into a new age of Aquarius. I know a lot of people are talking about it, but we're really getting close to moving into that energy. I mean, we've already been experiencing it, and that's why everything of duality seems so heightened, right? There's such a huge polarity between good and bad and up and down and left and right, and, you know, the political parties and race and just all these things, gender. I mean, there's just so much polarity that's being thrust out into the open so that people can actually recognize it and see it. So everything is kind of an extreme version. The thing is things have always been extreme, but we just haven't been aware of it. And so, you know, the whole point of this ascension process for us all is we are moving beyond duality. We are moving beyond right, wrong, left, right, Republican, Democrat. We're moving past all of those things. We're moving more into unity consciousness and oneness. So the extremes are going to be very extreme and more polarized. And, you know, we are moving into the age of Aquarius, which is really going to shake things up even more so and just bring about so much change. It's going to be awesome. So, you know, we're going basically from an earth sign to an air sign. And I'll be talking more about that in the upcoming videos. But for now, what you need to know for this week is all about protection. You'll need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself physically, because this week the likelihood of dealing with some type of illness is much higher. Illness and accidents are going to be up there this week. As always, you know, this may show up in your life in one or more ways, either by you dealing with a health issue yourself, or someone close to you will be dealing with a health issue and you'll be supporting them. This is especially true for those of you who have like been on edge, right? Like you have been in the extremes of high emotions, high stress, you're not getting enough sleep, you're not taking care of yourself properly, your diet may be lacking, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you might have just been in just this heightened state of maybe fear and anxiousness and emotions that have kept you just stressed out. So if you haven't been sleeping and you have had this high stress, or you've been polluting your body with drugs, alcohol, and unhealthy foods, well, the possibility of a health situation arising for you will be higher than it would be if you were actually taking care of yourself and working on your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health, and your physical health. So this could be stuff from minor things like upset stomach, maybe headache, maybe just feeling a little achy and sore, to more severe things like diabetes, heart disease, the flu, pancreas issues, gallbladder issues, cancer, broken bones. More of the intense illnesses I feel would come through the form of diagnosis, or they come up out of the blue, right? You're hanging out on the couch, you're watching TV, and all of a sudden you have a gallbladder attack or something. So just be aware of that. Do what you can to really kind of figure out some healthier stress management, making sure you're eating good this week, making sure that you're taking care of your mental and emotional state and not allowing yourself to get stressed out. We do have a choice in this, right? We can choose on dwelling on the problem, or we can choose to focus on the solution. And we do have a choice over how we feel. So, these are things that you need to be taking a look at. The other thing that I feel everyone needs to be vigilant about is your privacy. People around you or a specific person could be trying to snoop in your business. So, maybe if you're in a relationship, if you're having trust issues within that relationship, you may feel tempted to snoop in your partner's phone, or maybe your partner feels like they want to snoop. People are going to be wanting to be nosy. You could have friends that are like pushing you. So how did that date go? Give us the dirt. What's going on? Right? So you could see things like that happening. But on the more extreme side of this, if you've been hiding something and it's stuff that really could potentially harm someone, or hurt someone's feelings, I feel like those things are going to be coming up and out into the open. So, keep that in mind as well. I'm not telling you to go tell on yourself or anything like that, but just be aware that the possibility exists. You'll be found out in some way. And the same goes the other way around. You might be finding out some stuff about someone else, right? There's also a higher likelihood of identity theft and someone breaching either your credit card or your bank account. So if you typically aren't looking at your bank account on a regular basis or your credit card, my advice, take some time every morning to take a look to make sure there's not any withdrawals or charges that you didn't create. Because again, the likelihood of that could be pretty high this week. The other downside to this energy is people in your life not supporting you. They may try to discourage you from pursuing certain dreams or goals. It could just be even minor conversation. You're talking about how you're excited because you're going to go meet up with your girlfriends or your friends or do something, and they might knock you for going out and living your life during the pandemic, right? So it's just somebody's just going to be trying to beat you down and knock you off of your happiness, your joy, your success, your potential dreams and goals. Trust your intuition and follow your heart's desires. Most naysayers, Debbie Downers, negative Nancys, all those people, if you take a look at the overall picture of who is being a naysayer and not supporting you, you're probably going to recognize a pattern of behavior in this person, that they may be negative themselves or always finding something to complain about. Most naysayers are just too afraid to take risks or secretly feel envious. Be thoughtful and responsible in your pursuits, and you'll be successful. And, besides, you're going to have plenty of supporters popping up in the near future. And some of you will actually have some behind the scenes help that will come in light, or not come in light, but come to light in the near future, right? Sorry, I've got food on my mind. I've been on a juice cleanse. I'm on day 36, and I keep fantasizing about like eating fruit and eating vegetables and like super healthy food. So yeah, I'm coming close to an end on my juice cleanse, and I am going to do a video about it and share every amazing thing that has happened on being on the juice cleanse. But I know I'm coming to an end this week, and I'm super excited about eating food. So I keep wanting to say food, like instead of saying coming up in the near future, I wanted to say near food. Not that I'm hungry or anything. I'm just excited to actually be chewing food. Anyway, I'll share all of that in my other video. But so in the near future, you are going to have some supporters, and some of you will actually have someone behind the scenes that's helping you. And that information might not come to light until some point in the future, or you hear it through the grapevine. Like, this person isn't taking credit, right? Like, they don't need validation. They don't need their ego stroke. They're genuinely just helping you behind the scenes, and you don't need to know about it because they don't need the kudos for it, right? But it benefits you. And like I said, for most of you, I feel like you will find out anyway. The feel good vibes this week will have you feeling more self-confident, happy, hopeful, and inspired. Things are moving forward in your life, and it will have you feeling an extra pep in your step. Even if it hasn't fully manifested yet, you're just feeling that forward movement, and you're just feeling excited, and you're just, I don't know, you're just going to be feeling that heavy, stagnant, negative energy that we've felt over the last year with all the stuff that's been happening, with the restrictions and the lockdowns and the fear and all that. It's all just lifting. So it's going to be feeling so much better than it has been. And again, it's not going to be perfect, and we're still going to be going through some stuff because we are in a very transformative time period. So, but you are also going to be feeling more comfortable asking for help if you need it with anything. So that's very important because you want to be in balance with giving and receiving. So don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it, because that's a form of receiving. And if you block receiving, well, then you block receiving love. You block receiving in so many different ways. Now, this boost of energy is going to be beneficial to those of you who have a tendency to focus on everything that's not happening in your life, right? Or the things that have been bothering you, or the things that are upsetting you in some way. You're going to, again, kind of notice that polarity to the extreme, where maybe all of a sudden you kind of notice, oh my gosh, like I'm finding myself complaining a lot, or I just keep getting sucked into, oh my God, so-and-so's not doing this, or this person's not doing that, and I wish I had this, and I want that. And so I feel like you're going to recognize that about yourself, because this energy is going to be that beneficial, and it's going to help you see things more clearly, to lift your eyes up and be grateful for what you do have. You're going to be more solution focused. And again, you're going to have an extra pep in your step as well. And you're kind of pulling yourself out of the funk. Only you can do that for yourself. You have to choose that, right? You're going to have to choose to want to not have a pity party for yourself. Like, that's a genuine choice. But the energy is going to be there to help support you. So hopefully you seize the opportunity and actually pull yourself out of the maybe funk or depression or whatever's been kind of keeping a black cloud over your head. Now, this week we'll have more change headed your way as well. Certain relationships may change how they interact with each other. Some may even need to be released altogether. So you may find all of a sudden friendships that you've had for a long time kind of are just non-existent, or you're just no longer feeling compatible with that friendship. And that's okay. It ebbs and flows. Some relationships you're meant to grow with for a long period of time, some forever, and some just short spans because they're catalysts to huge growth for you and the other person. My advice is just roll with the highs and lows of the week, and you're going to be fine. On the world stage, I do feel like we will see some happenings in politics and possibly some shock and awe, maybe sometime this week and through the month. Definitely, I just feel like we're in for some big surprises. I can't help but feel that it's going to happen some point this month or next month. Again, the energy is a bit wishy-washy, but I do sense there's going to be some big stuff happening, just some major stuff that is going to blow people's minds. It's going to be exciting and scary all at the same time. Those of you that are working, well, actually, I kind of just condensed it, and under the work category, I'll be speaking about both employed and unemployed and business and all of that. So some of you have opportunities around you to make things happen that you've been wanting in your career, but for some reason or another, you haven't been able to see those opportunities because you've had blinders on. I feel like they've been there for a while, And this week you take off the blinders and you're going to be able to see what's out there and be present in the moment. I feel like some of you have actually been around a group of people that were discussing some opportunity, but you were too busy in your head, or you were on your phone and not paying attention, or you're just distracted in some way and you weren't present in the moment. And I feel like you missed out on a potential connection to lead you to something you actually want. So, I feel like this week, that kind of distraction energy is lifting, so you can become more focused and you will maybe notice opportunities or realize like, oh my gosh, I'm a chef and I could do this sort of stuff. Like I can cater private parties, or I can do food for Christmas dinner for people. Or maybe you all of a sudden realize like, I'm awesome at doing hair, so I'm gonna go get my license and start doing hair. Or you're just gonna start figuring out things in a new way that haven't quite clicked before, tied to one, doing things for yourself. And then for some of you, I just feel like, again, there's some good opportunities out there for you that you just haven't seen. And that message also goes for unemployed people as well. Like you're being either too selective, or you're just talking yourself out. Like maybe you thought about applying for a job, but then you're like, oh, they're looking for this qualification and that. Apply for it anyway. Who cares? Like, you never know. Whenever you're getting drawn to something, just do it. Don't worry about the rejection. Just trust that you're going to end up exactly where you're meant to be. And any form of rejection when it comes to a job, you're just not meant to be there. That's all. It doesn't mean you're never going to work again. You just have to trust that everything is divinely orchestrated and that you do have some control over this, that you help create this. Now, ego may be a big factor this week in the work area of life too. Whether you're looking for a job or you're already employed, you may need to keep your ego in check this week, or you'll need to not take things personally from other people's ego that's coming up and out. You and or the people around you are maybe more stressed, so this could lead to more arguments and misunderstandings at work. There's definitely some conflicts that could be happening for some of you, and especially if you've got your ego in the way, if you're prideful, if you're, needing constant validation, or you've got to get the, best of the best, or whatever it is. Like, you've got to take a look at your ego and your insecurities to make sure that those aren't sabotaging potential things that could be happening for you at work and in your career. I also feel like some employers shutting down again or limiting the staff or the office hours, so there might be some shifts happening for some of you. I also feel like there's a possibility of more layoffs that are coming for some, but I also feel like some of you get hired this week, and those of you that do end up getting laid off and have like this significant change, I really feel like it's for the positive. It's the motivation that you needed to get out of a job you don't really like anyway. That's had you like stagnant and maybe just settling. So I feel like this will lead you to something better. So seize that, and again, try to focus on the positive. Yes, we know the reality of the situation. You lost your job and it's going to be tough. File for unemployment and then put yourself out there in new and imaginative ways. Like, this is a time, really, I feel most people are going to be moving towards independent work and not really working for an employer. I do feel like there's still going to be obviously jobs in that way, but a lot of you are very talented and gifted. And I mean, there's things like Upworks and Fiverr. You could freelance office work. There's so much that you could do. It's just a matter of you stepping outside of your comfort zone and not being afraid to try different things and really figure out what you're talented at, what your passions are. Just put yourself out there. And again, like I said, I do feel like some of you are getting hired, this week. Okay, love. Some of you could be focused on trying to change your partner this week, or them trying to change you, and you're feeling the pressure of that, like feeling like they're just not accepting you for who you are. and your partner is going to be feeling the same way, because the way this reality actually works is you're a mirror reflection of each other, and you're both showing each other the exact same thing and projecting the same thing. So more than likely, you're both trying to change each other, right? So you're both just trying to change each other. So what's going to be important is self-reflection on yourself is going to be really vital, because you need to become self-aware just as much as your partner needs to become self-aware, but it's not your job to fix them or solve them or do anything. They have to want that for themselves. All you can do is work on yourself. And if you work on yourself and your partner is it no longer reflecting back to you the growth that has happened within you, well, then you know you're no longer compatible, and this person will fade out of your life, or you remove them from your life, or they choose to leave your life, so that new people can now mirror back to you the new and improved version of yourself. So everything begins and ends with you, and everything is a reflection of you, what you feel, what you think, how you behave, how you talk to yourself, how you talk to other people, judgments you make. I mean, just everything is being shown to you 24/7, and you have complete control over all of it. So really do a deep dive into yourself and figure those things out. So the self-reflection, a better communication is really going to be important as well in order for the relationship to grow and evolve and last, or you go your separate ways. Some of you may have some minor issues pop up that need to be worked through in order to get back on the same page. Again, self-reflection and communication will be important. Those of you dating will need to do some self-reflection as well and go deep to resolve some patterns of behavior and denials about you really being ready for a committed long-term relationship. Some of you are not acting in alignment with what you actually want, and some of you need to work on your self-esteem. A few of you have low self-esteem, and others of you are having way too high of self-esteem to the point where it's crossing into ego, and you're coming off as rude, maybe complaining, maybe snobby, maybe judgmental, a lot of negative aspects. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that, but I just feel like it's an issue that you're kind of in denial about with yourself, and you might need to take a look at those things, because typically when you're single and keep attracting the wrong person, the common denominator is you, right? And that's something I had to learn. I'm the common denominator. So you're going to have to dig deep. What do you need to change about yourself to attract and pick a suitable partner? Because one, you don't have any person that comes to you and wants to date you, you don't have to date them unless you want to. And based on who you allow in your life and choose to date, well, that's showing you what you allow in your life and what you're willing to accept. So if you keep attracting people that are liars, cheaters, unavailable, and all of those things, you've got to take a look at why you allow that type of person in your life, why you feel like this person is worthy of your time and energy and love. Right? So to me, that typically is a sign that you don't love yourself and you don't think you're good enough, or you feel like you're not deserving of better, or you have unresolved issues from a past cheater, or you've cheated yourself, or you've lied yourself, right? So these are all things that have to be looked at in order for you to accept, heal, face, and move on. That way you're going to attract somebody who is in alignment with who you are now and what you are deserving of and what you are worthy of. But unless you feel like you're deserving and worthy, you're not going to attract anybody that's ever going to treat you with some worth and respect and kindness and love. Because if you don't do that for yourself, well, they're sure is not going to do it, right? Because they won't do it for themselves either. Again, everything is a mirror. Like, I cannot stress that to you enough. Like, that is the secret to getting out of the matrix, right? So finances, I feel like are ebbing, flowing, and I feel stability. So everybody's going to fall into one of those three categories. Some of you will be coming up with a financial plan for some future goals. Some of you really are thinking about starting your own businesses. Some of you want to have a little nest egg just in case you do get laid off or something happens. I just feel like there's some financial planning that's happening. Some of you will be facing financial issues head on. And I feel like you've been avoiding them, and now the energy is there. So you're like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to face my problems. I'm going to get it resolved. I'm going to handle it. And you're not going to be afraid to look at your finances. You're going to remove the fear from the finances, and you're going to move into a better space of like trust and abundance mindset, because you have to look at money as an energy. So I feel like a shift is coming here for some of you. There is a caution this week with not taking any high-risk investments, gambling, or expecting to win the lottery. Some of you might win some scratch-offs, but I'm not feeling like there's any big windfalls and any kind of risky financial things. This is just not the week for that. Health, as I already mentioned, this week illness may be a major topic or area of concern for some of you or some family members. There's also a caution with paying attention at all times while you're in motion. Whether you're walking, driving, running, or any other form of movement, be present in the moment, because accidents are just high. The energy is just primed for that. So really just be present in the moment. And it's just a great exercise anyway, because when you're present in the moment, you never miss out on anything. Spirituality, this week you may fluctuate between a really positive attitude and a really shitty attitude. And you'll notice those around you doing the same thing. You might have some new understandings, and spiritual expansion will be on the rise this week as well. More people are waking up to the reality of this world and realizing there's more to life than what they've been experiencing. This year has definitely had its challenges, but I do feel like, it's kind of been a good thing, because it really forced people to take a look at their life and make necessary changes. And I also feel like it helped people slow down and really find the importance of presence and, not being stressed, and that you can work from home, and that we can change the way that we've done things, right? There's just more peace, I feel, in many ways, and more love and more strength and more health. Like, so many people are exercising more, and a lot of people have really just gone down the positive spectrum of this whole situation and worked through any of the challenges. And I think, that's what we're going to see happening more and more with this awakening process. So again, new understandings coming. Some of you will be sharing your wisdom and joy. Like, I just feel like more of you are coming out of the closet and sharing the fact that you believe in, psychics, astrology, the metaphysics, certain conspiracies, right? Like, that's just a term that is to distract you from certain truths. But I just feel like you're coming out of the closet, you're sharing your wisdom, you're sharing your joy, you're sharing your experiences, you're connecting more with people. So to me, I feel like that's a really great thing, because the more people that share this message, the sooner we can change this world, right? The moment you believe nothing can change the way it is now, then, well, it won't ever change for you, because you don't believe that it can or will. So yeah, we just have to take a whole new approach, because again, energy, what we focus on is what grows. And if you're focusing on all of the fear and all of the hate and all of the things that are coming up, well, then that's what you're growing and changing. Like, if you're putting energy into war, even if you think you're being positive and saying, oh, I'm against war, I'm so angry about it, well, you're actually contributing to keeping it going. Right? You have to pull your energy away from that completely and put your energy into what you actually want to happen, which is peace. And the more that you're at peace, and the more that you share peace in your life and are the example, then the more people that affects, and the more people it can change, and it just grassroots, right? And eventually war can no longer exist, because nobody's putting energy into it, right? Except for the people that get rich off of it. because wars are always about resources. So on the spirituality side, sorry guys, I always go off on tangents. The last part of the spirituality, your spirit and the divine spirit will be coming through strongly this week. So again, do your best to be in the present moment so that you don't miss out on the messages that are coming from your higher self, the messages that are coming from angels and guides and the divine, right? Team Divine is all around you and trying to help you shift into your greatness and work through your shadow self, right? That's what we have to do. We have to work through all of the dark parts of ourselves that we do not like in order to unplug from duality. So it's going to be a powerful week. It will be, again, super important for you to be in the present moment because it's going to keep you safe and it's going to keep you woke. So that wraps up the intuitive messages for this week. If you enjoyed these messages, please like, subscribe, and share. And my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That would be so awesome. I'd appreciate any support to make that happen. I also posted 1-minute horoscope videos for you guys every Monday, so be sure to check those out if you haven't already. And thanks again for tuning in. All links to my services are provided in the description box below. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.